Hello YouTube, my name is Josh and I want to welcome you to our channel. So Flickstiq is all about game streaming and cloud gaming, and today we're here to talk about playing a very special game, and it's a game that we've been reviewing quite a bit lately that is called Hunt Showdown. And one second, I'm just pulling something up. Okay, so with Hunt Showdown, you basically play a bounty hunter that gets dropped into a sandbox world and you have to survive. And it's created by Crytek, the makers of Crysis and other games like that. So we're gonna test this out, and we're actually gonna use a combination of a cloud service called Snoost plus Parsec, and we're gonna start by just jumping in because it takes a little while to get everything going. All right, so that may have seemed like it blinked for a second. We are actually logged into the Snoost desktop now, and we're playing through Parsec. So Snoost is controlling it with all the heavy hardware in the background, and Parsec is the streaming app that we're using to get the video and control everything. So we're going to start loading this game while we talk a little bit more. Now, The Hunt is an awesome game. It's a big title. It's currently in early access on Steam, and if you take a look at the description below, I've included a link from Green Man Gaming that will allow you to purchase your own copy of The Hunt, and there's also a coupon code for 20% off of that purchase. So not only do you get the discount for getting it in early access on Steam, but you get an extra 20% off on top of that. So if you're interested in this game, now is absolutely the best time to go ahead and grab yourself a copy. Now, Snoost, for those of you that aren't familiar, is a cloud gaming service that's pretty special. It offers you unlimited hours of cloud gaming for only $9 a month. And that may not seem like a big deal up front because, you know, I don't know, $9 a month, right? But when you compare that to everybody else out there, so like we'll name some names, like Liquid Sky. For $10 a month, you get roughly 12 hours of gaming on a system that's less powerful than this one. And if you go over to like Paperspace, now Paperspace is really close to the same power as Snoost. All right, what the heck is this doing? One second, we'll come back to what I was saying. It had an error about, I don't know, what is easy anti-cheat? Oh my goodness. We'll get this figured out. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, so I believe there is a feature somewhere to verify the game files. Okay. Let's take a look at what that is. Okay, so we'll see if we can apply this tutorial. I have a suspicion because I actually had an error earlier that's not a big deal, but I had my computer crash while I was doing my first take of this video, and I have a suspicion that one of these files got messed up. We should be able to fix it potentially though. Here we go, easy anti-cheat, setup. Okay, we'll just install it. See? Yay! Now, like you might have guessed already, this is a real-time gameplay. I'm not cutting it. I'm not editing anything. You know, I want you guys to see what it's really like to play with Snoost and Paperspace, you know, as if you were going to sit down and play it yourself. So that's basically what you're getting here. So we just solved the problem, right? And hopefully you won't ever run into that problem because hopefully your computer doesn't crash as you're setting things up. But if it does, there you go, solved it. Now the game itself does take a few minutes to load, so we'll continue talking as we wait for it to start up. Now Snoost, like we said, is special because, you know, those other apps either charge by the hour or they charge you, in a flat sum, like $10 like Liquid does, and you don't actually get a whole lot for your money there. So having this only be $9 and be the power and the quality that it is pretty awesome. And I have high hopes. So I have not actually tested this game all the way on Snoost, so I'm not sure what the results are really going to be like, but I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, this might be the best one we've tested yet, because we've already made videos of what it looks like to use Paperspace and Parsec together to play this game, and then also what it looks like to use Liquid to play this game. And they both could run it, but I think if you look at those videos, you'll agree that the quality could definitely have been better. And I think that. So I'm hoping that this is the one, right? So we'll see. And when this video is over, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you think, especially if you've watched the other two videos. And if you haven't watched them, go ahead and take a peek. Now, in terms of Snoost, we did a rundown of Snoost very recently, and I'd encourage you guys to go look at the video history and take a look at that as well. I think these settings are already set up. Yeah, we're already borderless. But I do want to emphasize really quickly for those of you that are not familiar with Parsec, anytime that you're streaming Parsec to something else, you want to be in windowed mode and borderless if you have it. And that's going to give you the best streaming experience with the lowest amount of input latency. So outside of that, we basically have everything set on max. So we've got high, and that's as high as you can go for system spec. VSync is being handled by Parsec in the Parsec app on my computer, so we don't need that enabled in game. Depth of field is fine. Anti-aliasing is as high as it will go, and the filtering is also as high as it will go. So let's jump right into gameplay and see what we can do. Now, we're getting a connection error. We got this last night, so we're going to try to reconnect real quick. And this is largely because, now, see, this disturbs me. I don't have much money. That really sucks. All right, I think we're gonna have to hire him. So it looks like we're actually gonna have a chance to answer a question that I had. So the way that this system works is that you have a set amount of money, and you start off with about $500 when you start the game. And if you buy a character, so you can see you can hire characters. If you buy a character and then that character dies, well, what happens, right? You lose money. And so if I spend this character and I run out of money, what happens up here? I have no idea. I think we're about to find out though. So I'm going to use this character. You can tell that he's got a repeating rifle. He's got a conversion pistol, which is it looks like a standard, Wild West Colt pistol. We have a knife, which I really like, so this is a great melee weapon, and we have a stamina shot. So we're going to jump right in and start playing. USA East is correct. That's the closest for my cloud server. Now, if you're playing on the cloud, you want to make sure that the region that you're connecting to in the game, because you're connecting to game servers online, you want to make sure that that matches as close to you as possible. Now, there's only one map available currently inside of Hunt. And these are just basically different variations of the same map. So different bosses in the daytime, different bosses at night. And our goal is to kill this spider at some point. So this is the boss on the map. So if we can find that, hopefully we can do something, right? And we're going to play solo, mainly because we're streaming to you guys, right? So we don't want to need to speak to somebody else while we're talking to you, because that's kind of awkward. The way that this game system works, like the way the game is set up, is that we're about to be dropped into a sandbox world that's full of monsters and zombies and stuff that you have to watch out for. But there's other people being dropped into the same world, and we're all on our own team. So everybody is every man for themselves. And we're all trying to be the last man standing. And as you travel throughout the world, you're going to find clues. And a clue in this game is basically just something you find like on the ground or whatever. And when you interact with it, it actually shrinks the game world around you. And eventually you guys are all going to be shrunk into a small area where you're kind of forced to fight it out. And so this probably sounds familiar as a concept, but I'll show you in a little bit. Actually doing this in the game feels different. So you might be thinking that this is similar to games like PUBG or to Fortnite or something like that. And you'll see that this is a little bit different. Having the AI in the game makes a huge difference. And hopefully we make enough money to actually maybe get another character. Now, you don't make money for everything you do. You do gain experience for everything that you do in the game. So if I kill like a zombie, I get a little bit of XP from that. And if you find a clue, you get a little bit of money for finding clues. Now, I haven't run into anybody that was able to kill yet. Hopefully we can do that too. I have a suspicion that you get some money for killing other characters and other players, and you probably get some money for killing the boss. So there are ways to get it. We'll just have to see if we can do it. Now, when you look at this screen, this is looking really good in terms of quality so far, and high hopes that this is going to be the best looking one compared to like Paperspace so far and Liquid Sky. So in my opinion, Paperspace was a better experience on this game than Liquid Sky was, but both of them were a little bit less than I expected. So we had some like serious distortion on the screen, serious compression, and there was a little bit of jerkiness, and I kind of missed some of the responsiveness of the controls. So I am hoping that Snoost does better. And we'll see, right? We will definitely see. Now, generally what I have found, just having, I've played about 6 matches altogether so far, and from this point, in most cases, it takes 2 to 3 minutes to actually get loaded to the point where you can play. So I want to take a minute right now, and we're going to talk about a few really quick things. So like I said at the beginning of the video, you're watching Flickstiq, you're on our channel. And our channel is all about game streaming and cloud gaming. And we're in other places other than just YouTube. So you can go to flickstiq.com and you'll find a lot of extra things that are not included in our channel. So you'll find news, reviews, tutorials. So if you have a question about cloud gaming, or you just want to stay on top of it and just be in the know, then flickstiq.com is the best place to go. And we highly encourage you, when you get there, you'll see a little advertisement to the right side of the window to subscribe to our channel. And that's not a fake ad. That's not like going to take you out of the website. That's actually from us. So feel free to subscribe to us on flickstiq.com. That way you get notified anytime any new game streaming news comes out or anything special that we post. That way you don't have to wonder if something cool is happening in the world of game streaming or cloud gaming. You're going to be notified as it happens. So you have that resource. And then in addition to that, you're going to find us on pretty much all the major social media sites. And we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and there are a lot of extra things on those sites as well. So you could really benefit from the things that we post. All right, so we're still loading the match and we're still loading the map, and we will get there. Now, what I've noticed is that if you play at night, at least for right now, because this game just launched, it's a little laggy at night. I think that their servers are probably under a load from everybody that's purchased the game so far. So things take a little longer than I expect them to, probably in a few days after some people stop playing quite as much. And we'll give it some more time. I would love to speed it up. Now, normally, if I was going to show a game like this, I would cut through this part for you, and I'd cut it out so that we could have a nice little smooth transition and then be at the gameplay part. But I wanted you guys to get a very raw look at what it's like to stream with Snoost and what it's really like. So we're not going to cut anything out. We're not going to hold anything back. This is going to look, in this video, look exactly like what you should expect to experience if you try this for yourself. Now, here is something that's cool about Snoost. And this is something that's not true for any other cloud service that I'm aware of. If you go to snoost.com and you sign up for an account with Snoost, they'll give you 3 days of free gameplay. So if you want to try out a cloud streaming service for free for a decent amount of time, you could do a lot worse than Snoost. So if you go to snoost.com, sign up, you are required to input a credit card. That's a question that I've had quite a bit as we've talked about Snoost, but they do not charge it if you cancel before the 3 days are up. So if it's your intention just to kind of try out a cloud gaming service and see what it's really like for you, and you don't know that you're necessarily going to keep it, you can safely go there, go to snoost.com, sign up for that 3-day trial, and just remember to go back there and cancel that trial before your 3 days are up, and you'll never get charged. But you do have to have a credit card to sign up for an account that way. That way, if you did continue past the 3 days, you could set up a normal subscription, and it's only $9 a month. And like we talked about, that's really cheap in this industry. It would be cheap for 20 hours of gameplay, let alone unlimited. So, high hopes for that. Now, it's taking quite a while to load this, so that's a little discouraging, I think. It was going so well. All right, so we're gonna give it just a little bit of time, and it looks like we could hit back if we needed to, so we're not like locked up or anything as far as I can tell. And we'll just kind of explore this a little bit. Now, something that's cool is that this map is interactive. So as you're waiting for stuff to load, you can actually zoom in just by scrolling your mouse. You can move around. So if you want to study the map a little bit before you actually get into the game, you can do that freely. And like I said, there is only one map as far as I'm aware at the moment. So this is it. So if you want to start kind of memorizing this stuff, go for it, man. In the past, we've spawned right here. And I'm pretty sure we made our way to this general area right here. We encountered some zombies and some dogs and a scary horse. So that was interesting. We definitely made it up to here before. And same thing. I think this might actually be what I was thinking about. I don't think we made it down here yet. This is where we ran into the dogs and the horse. And so we came from here once, we came from here once, and then we've spawned up here twice so far. And this lake is kind of a nightmare. So the first time that we went into the lake area, it's swampy and you're kind of walking around like knee deep in the water. We looked out in the distance and we saw this thing coming at us, and it was kind of like a woman in a white dress. And with this game being so new, anytime you encounter a new character in the game, you have no idea if that thing is hardcore, if it's super dangerous, if it's going to one-shot you, or if you could take care of it really easily. So we've learned to take a cautious approach to anything that we can't identify. And so we took out our shotgun, and thankfully we did, because that saved our butts. I don't know how to label her, honestly. The woman in the white dress, she ended up sending like a swarm of like insects at us that attacked us. Now we were able to take her down with one shot from the shotgun, so thank God. But the insects bit us and did poison damage to us, and that was just really nasty. So she likes to wander this swamp around here. And then when we got closer to this main house that you see right here, there's a bunch of zombies just kind of in the water around the house. And we died over here once, and then we got killed by another character over here once. So this place is interesting. Now, we haven't really gone much farther. Like, this is a big map, and this is kind of to scale too. So we've one time, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I think we spawned maybe over here. No, I think it was closer over here. It's kind of hard to say because it is such a big map. But we have been on this side of the map one time. So there's a lot of this that is completely unexplored, and we don't know a whole lot about it. All right, I'm gonna back up because that's been long enough. Okay, thankfully we did not lose our character. Looks like he has a name. And we're still spinning right here, man. That kind of is annoying. All right. We're gonna go ahead and just quit this and relaunch, and I'm sorry, but again, this is real life, and sometimes we need to do things like this. So not everything is perfect. Now, thankfully, thus far, I don't think we've run into any problems that I can attribute to like Snoost. I don't think any of this has to do with Snoost. Like if I was just, screen capturing the actual gaming computer that I'm on, pretty sure it would go the same way. So this is just, part of a game being an alpha and being popular, because Crytek as a company hasn't released a new game in quite a while. And they have a reputation to live up to, and people remember them because of Crysis. Crysis was the game that you measured your PC by. If you could run it, then you had it made. So that company coming forward again with a new game is a big deal, especially for people that just remember how it was. So let's talk a little bit of news real quick while we wait. So today, Rainway had some news. So they actually kind of opened their doors, and they set up a question and answer session on Reddit, and they actually provided quite a bit of information that hadn't really been talked about before. So number one, they confirmed that they plan on fully releasing the product by the end of the year. So we hadn't had any kind of formally announced release date yet. And this still isn't like, super specific, but they're hoping to have it released by then. And on top of that, they said that they are going to be adding a friend sharing feature. So if you're playing a game that supports local co-op or split screen or something, you'll be able to share your game with somebody else. Like have a friend come and be like controller 2 or something for you. All right, so it looks like it disconnected again. I think we're just hitting like a time of connectivity trouble for the game. Thank God our guy is still there because we can't afford another one. And same stuff as before. We'll just get back to where this is loading. Okay. Anyway, so Rainway said that their next project is to release an Android version of their app in beta. And it's going to be a private test just for other Rainway users. Now, if you do know about Rainway or if you've been using it, the only requirement to be part of the Android beta is that you have an Android device and that you have a Rainway account, which you can get for free at rainway.io. So that's pretty cool. And from what he was saying, it sounds like that beta is right around the corner. So you shouldn't have to wait very long for that. Outside of that, just thinking through their other announcements, they did say that it should work on smart TVs that are powered by Android, which quite a few are, and that they may come to other smart TVs at some point. Like Rainway's goal is to pretty much dominate the world of game streaming. They want to be on everything possible. And they confirmed that they're going to be out on Linux and Mac at some point. So those are two things that they confirmed today for sure. And it's just exciting. And there's a whole article about all those changes that they discussed and that they announced. So check that out. Go to flickstiq.com and you'll be able to see all the rest of those details. Now we're actually making progress here, so fingers crossed. I think we're about to be in. Now usually once you hit the black screen of loading the match, you're 1 minute to 2 minutes away. So we're getting there. Now I'm trying to think of the other news. So here's some news. So Showdown is a game company that's kind of made some announcements and made some waves lately. So they're different from a lot of the other streaming companies because not only are they hosting servers that you can install your games on, they're also selling you a game streaming box. So it looks like a little mini computer and you can hook it up to a TV or to a computer screen. And they're boasting that it's going to be the best. And last night, they officially launched their product in California. And so it's the first step that they've taken on United States soil. So outside of this, they've been launched in Europe for a little bit now. But now they're coming to the United States. And we'll have to see what ends up happening. I honestly have not tested the service. I can't tell you if it's any good or if they live up to any of their claims. But it's interesting, and they're making quite a bit of news. So we will keep our eyes open and see how that goes. I hope that we're almost here. I considered whether I was going to make another video for the hunt because we've already made 2, and I realized every time that somebody talks to me about what service they should use or where they should go with it, I always come back and we end up talking about Snoost because of the experience that I've had with it. Now, you might want to look at my video history on YouTube and look for the review video that I made of Snoost. Now, it's not technically a review, it's a first impressions. But, we were impressed with how it performed. We tried a couple games like GTA 5, and it did really well. So, I've been talking about them to other people because of the great deal that you get with their company and with the quality of the stream when you use that combined with Parsec. So, take a look for that other video, especially if you like what you see today, you can go over there and learn even more about Snoost. And on top of that, Parsec is a front-end app. So it sits on top of something else, and it's your streaming interface, so it handles your controls and the video and all that. Yay, I was kind of worried that we froze for a second. Looks like we're making progress. Now that last image kind of confuses me because that looks like a Luger, right? That looks like a World War II pistol, which doesn't really match the Wild West setting of everything else. So that's a little weird, and I don't know what that means. And we should be really close, so I'm going to get my hands ready and see what we get. But I think we're about to actually test this. This is cool, dude. Oh, yeah. This is already better. So if you remember, or look at the other videos, I mean, you're gonna be able to tell already that there's hardly any compression on the video, and I mean it's playable. So like if I move around, I mean that's pretty good. That's pretty close to what I think it should feel like over the cloud. So we're gonna hit tab and take a look at our map real quick just to see where we are. So it looks like we spawned all the way down here. So this is a new zone for us. We haven't done anything down here yet. Now if we look at our weapons, both of my weapons are loud weapons, which is not ideal because anytime you make noise, you risk having the other AI creatures and other players kind of find where you're at. And we want to survive as long as we can. So you got to be careful and you got to be stealthy. There are monsters and zombies in this world that can one-shot you. So they can swipe you once and basically take you out. So you really have to take it seriously. This is not a Call of Duty game where you can just survive endlessly. Now it looks like these are crows. And crows are, you'll find these spread out throughout the world. They basically exist, and we're going to just jump in the lake real quick and kind of go around. They exist as an alarm system. Oh no. So it looks like I was headed off the side of the map. They don't give you any choice. I had to set that off. That really sucks. Where am I? Why is it yelling at me about that? Now this is one of those. Why is it saying extraction? I don't want to extract. Okay, I think we made it. So this is one of the chicks that does the poison that I was talking about. So we're going to take her out if we can help it. Alright, we did good. We took her out before she actually got us with her little poison group. Now I'm pretty sure her head is like dangling off her back. Oh, we didn't get to get a good look. Now unfortunately we had to make quite a bit of noise. So if anybody else is nearby, they are probably clued in that we are nearby. Now you can do a degree of looting in this game. So if you find something, you can pick up, health packs and some equipment and stuff like that. Now, I found out the hard way that you can run into stuff like these pans and they actually set off another alarm. So we're going to try to avoid that if it's possible. And I will say that so far my first impressions of doing this through Snoost are that this is kind of the smoothest it's been so far. I mean, this is more responsive, and I'm actually going to try. I think I'm going to, while I'm safely in here, I'm going to try to turn up my mouse sensitivity just a little bit so that I have a little more control. Yeah, see, the mouse sensitivity is pretty low. So we're going to apply that, and then get back out of here. Okay, so that does feel better. Yeah. So just depending on what you're doing, you may want to do something like that as well. Now, we're going to do this. We're going to get out of this room, and we're going to use a special ability to look around and see if we can figure out where a clue is. Because remember, we talked about clues shrink the map, so that's a good thing. You also get experience and money for using clues. Now, if you hold down E, it changes your view, because I guess you're using like demon view or something. And if you look around, we're basically looking for blue beacons. And it's not like this. Like I see that ahead of me, like the blue sparkles. I think those are actually bad guys, like zombies or something. We're looking for like, looks like, a beacon going up to the sky sort of thing. Something very pronounced. And that would tell us that there's a clue nearby. Now I'm not seeing that right now. All right, there's a zombie right there. I'm familiar with this dude. Let's try our pistol, because I want to know if this pistol is worth anything, because this is a little bigger than some of the other pistols that we've tested. So I'm kind of wondering if it might be a little more powerful and a little more useful. Good to know that there's such a delay. So that's one of the downsides that we've run into with the pistols before, is that it takes a while in between shots. Like you can't do that quickly. So if you're like swarmed by stuff, you have basically no chance of recovering from that with a pistol. So just keep that in mind as you play. Your pistol is kind of your last resort. Now I wanted to test it ahead of time because I had not specifically tried that gun. Now what is this? All right, let's see if we can kill this with our knife. Oh, that guy. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. It says hold F to stop burning. Dude, that like took like half of my health. Okay. So, learning opportunity there. When you can help it. So, the mistake that I think I made right there was that I took on 2 of them, and one of them was a fire dude. Now, I have not yet had, you know, I've killed the fire dude before, but I haven't had one so close to me. Usually I killed them before they got that close, so I wasn't aware of how bad the fire really was. Alright, here's a box, so it looks like we got some loot, possibly. Okay. So that's just refilling loot. Looks like you can pick up a light, maybe? Not sure what you do with the light. I mean, outside of the obvious. Okay. So no other players yet. No clues yet either that I can see. What is that? I mean, whatever that glowy thing was, looks like it's right there, doesn't it? Alright, what is that? Oh, okay. So it looks like we got another one of those chicks. It's nice that you can take those out at distance. It's unfortunate that we have to use such a loud gun. Because, I mean, we're absolutely going to end up giving ourselves away at some point. But we don't want to get close to that chick because she does a lot of harm with her mouth. So I guess we're kind of like, there's some crows. Not that, you know, we need any help giving away our location, right? Okay. So if we go through that, that's going to make a bunch of noise. See if there's anything in this house. Now, my understanding is that this place is kind of set up like Louisiana. What's in this box? Nothing? Okay. I don't know what all this is. But the game appears to be set in Louisiana. So the environment is kind of like a Louisiana swamp. And I'm not honestly sure what year it is because these weapons feel, you know, 1800s-ish. But then you saw like during the loading screens, they showed a picture of a Luger, which is a World War II weapon. So that's a bit confusing. Oh, freaking crows. It's almost, you know, the emptiness of this place almost works against you because when something does pop at you, you know, you're not necessarily tuned in, if that makes sense. Like when you're constantly battling stuff like you do in some other games, you know, you're tense and you're ready for, you know, stuff to come. And with this, because you don't see quite as much stuff, it's almost edgier. It's not a scary game, it's just oh, what the hell is that? That thing looks large. Alright, so we're gonna close this gate and we're gonna see if we can take it out from here. Is it dead? No. Oh shoot, I'm out of ammo on that gun. That was lucky. I have not killed one of those before, but I emptied an entire rifle into it. Hopefully we get some money for that, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we need to get money for something, right? Okay, F. That's pretty sweet. So how does that affect... Okay. So does that need to replace something, or do I just carry it until I switch? I mean, it's kind of nice having something potentially quiet to use, right? That hopefully is a little bit better than that Knife. I haven't actually encountered any creatures inside of a house yet. Is this the same building we were just in? I kind of feel like it. Yeah, it is, because there's that box that we just did. We're like double tracking ourselves. All right, anything in the bathroom? Watch something jump out at me from here, right? What is that? Is that bullets for me? Oh, that's a tease. See, I need bullets for my rifle. Okay, what's around back? Anything that I should be aware of? See, I'm looking around these corners. I know how this works. Okay. Well, I guess we can leave this general area. Need some rifle bullets for sure. Because as we've already tested, the pistol is no good. So we need something that can do more damage. Or else we're going to be fighting face to face with this axe. Now, what does that look like? Okay. See, that's kind of cool, because if you look, you got a stamina bar at the bottom of your screen. And I'm going around a big freaking circle. I'm going to head up here to, like, what it looks kind of like a church, and it's got smoke coming out of it, so that's ominous, right? Healing Waters Church. See, we called it correctly. Now, where are we? So we've made it all the way from here up to here. And that kind of gives you an idea of the scale of this map. There's a bunch of crows there. Like, that's like 2 flocks. We're going to kind of go around to the right if we can. And there's a creature over there. That's one of the fire guys that we're going to probably have to kill melee style, but we've already determined that you got to watch out for his fire. And remember, we're at like 50%. We're at less than 50% health. We're at like 40%. So it is not going to take a whole lot. What is... That's a dog. Okay. See, this is a dangerous place. Dangerous place. There's 2 of them right there. We already know that 2 is bad news. Especially when one of them is a fire guy. Oh, man. I feel like my death is coming soon. I feel like we're not long for this earth. Here we go. We're just gonna... Oh, it's got frickin'... Man. Well, we called that, didn't we? Interesting. Okay, so here's my impressions, alright? I feel like Snoost out of the 3 was the best. I think if you watch the other 2 videos, I think you would agree with me. That one right there looked the smoothest. The gameplay felt the best. Now obviously you can't tell how it feels, but I can tell you that it felt the most responsive. And it's the cheapest. So that's a pretty good deal. And hopefully you guys are kind of intrigued by the game itself as well. So let's see how we ranked. I want to see what that thing's name was, the one that we put the whole rifle into. I also want to see what happens with my money. I don't think that we're gonna... Okay, we unlocked a rifle. Now, what does that mean? Do I get money? So we got no money. So that looks like that was called an armored. Well, dude, I didn't get any money for leveling up. See, I kind of suspected that, you know, they would balance this out by giving you like a big bonus, like $500 more or something when you level up. That did not happen. So let's see. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna play another round right now. Yeah, that was a pretty long round. So that's interesting. So it says you cannot afford to recruit better hunters. Your choice is currently limited to tier 0 hunters. These hunters are restricted to their assigned equipment and cannot be modified until they are level 4. Well, does that really matter? We haven't been modifying anybody anyway, right? But that answers that question. So what happens when you run out of money? Tier 0. Now, if there's a difference between tier 0 and anything else, I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know that I was playing with a tier better than that. I'm just looking because, like, you know, what makes these different than the other characters except that they're free? I'm sure we'll find out, right? we find out the answers to all of this stuff eventually. And let's go ahead and we're gonna call it right there. So overall, that was one of the better cloud gaming experiences that I've had so far, and I'm impressed with Snoost. Snoost, I'm gonna just get out of the stream altogether. Snoost is looking really good, and again, they've impressed me with how smooth and how powerful that was when you pair that with Parsec. So Parsec is free. You pay for Snoost. There is not a free option for Snoost, but you can try it for 3 days for free, and that's a good deal. And the game itself, so the hunt game, Hunt Showdown, is a blast. It's tense. It's mysterious. Nobody knows anything about it, so it's fun to discover it all from scratch. And I think I would encourage that. So right now, the price on Steam is $29 in early access. You can get an extra 20% off with the code that I put in the description of this video. So use the link to go ahead and buy the game from Green Man Gaming. Use the code, get 20% off, and you'll get a copy. They'll basically give you a code that you can use and activate in Steam. So why buy it directly when you can get an extra 20%, right? For $29, considering that I'm sure they're going to be adding a bunch of content to this, I think this is going to be a cool game to play for a while. And I'm digging it. I want to learn more about it. That's why I've made 3 videos, because I'm pretty intrigued with it. And that's basically it. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I hope that you enjoyed our video. Go ahead and head over to twitter.com/Flickstiq. Make sure that you go up and hit the follow button so that you get notified every time that we do something new. On top of that, we have a brand new website over at flickstiq.com. And if you go there, you'll notice that we cover a lot of things that aren't in our videos. So we cover things like game streaming news and reviews of game streaming products and cloud gaming information. So it's basically a great destination for everything that you could possibly want to know about game streaming and cloud gaming. So visit flickstiq.com and be sure to subscribe once you get there. And lastly, you absolutely do want to head over to youtube.com/Flickstiq and make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every time we release a new video, and so that you can stay on top of game streaming and cloud gaming. And until next time, you guys have a good one.